Hey everybody, this is the LEGO Star Wars Jedi and Clone Troopers Battle Pack. This is set very early on in the Clone Wars era. It's been a while since any Phase 1 Clone Troopers were made, so this is nice to get more of those for folks who are fans of that era. I personally prefer the Phase 2 design, but these definitely were iconic to certain battles and certain eras, and of course a lot of the folks who like these are more into or are still more into the Clone Wars animated TV series, which was itself very good. They only come with the stud shooters here, no regular blasters. I still feel that LEGO should give fans a little bit of a win in including also some regular blasters with these battle pack sets, because they're small pieces. You only need a couple of them for a set like this that only has 2 blaster equipped figures, and it would just make a lot of people happy without removing anything in terms of the play value of the stud shooters themselves. Underneath these helmets are angry clones, and that is perfect. I'm so glad that they used the angry clone head there, because that's what they were made for, and it's perfect. All of these folks were clones, of course, so they should all have the same face, and this is absolutely ideal. This is Barriss Offee. I'm assuming from before the whole Jedi Temple bombing thing. I'm just assuming, just to guess there. A well done figure this is, except for the paint application on the hilt of the lightsaber. It's like a lot of the chromed or kind of pseudo-chromed light silver coated ones have been, where it's just not completely solid. But the print on that torso looks really good. It's subtle because it is, dark on dark, but it looks really good to me. The face looks really good, and there's an alternate face to be seen here as well. But the most interesting thing about this, to me, is the inclusion of this lower piece, which replaces the standard inclusion of just a regular slope. So this is kind of nicely shaped. It has a nice smooth curve, and that curve goes very nicely, transitioning right up to the flat torso. You get some print on the back of the torso as well, which is just as good as the print on the front. The one thing that I don't like about this piece is that it's designed to use a minimal amount of plastic. It's very thin, and that makes it very light. That means it doesn't provide much counterbalance for the lightsaber, so this is easier to knock forward than usual. There's the alternate face, which is interesting in that it's not strictly an angry face, or a mean face, or a straining face, kind of an in-battle face. You can use this to represent a strike being made or something, but you could also see it as kind of a smile, like just a kind of a serious face in general, but then smiling. So I think it has dual purposes in that way. There's just a clearer look at the standard face, which I think looks good as well. And then here's Ki-Adi-Mundi, the wise old conehead himself. He has pretty good looking prints all the way through, lined up pretty well from the torso to the hips to the legs, so that's pretty nice. Looks like he's ready to do some battle. The specialized head add-on piece fits pretty well, and I think that the choice of color and also the style of application for the print on the back of the head works well to kind of suggest the continuation of the horizontal lines, where you don't have the ability to get the mold. But I think from this lighting that I have right here, where everything is really bright and fairly even, it looks a little bit more different, going from the mold of the top down to the print here. But under normal circumstances, I think it all kind of blends just a little bit better when you get a little bit more shadow in those little ridges in there. You get 2 paint applications with the white and the black for the hair, the top knot there. And of course he does not get an alternate face, because if he did, well, you can see, you get it. And then for the actual build, you get this supposedly speeder, which has very, very strong kind of microfighter Republic gunship LAAT vibes going on with it. I could I could see this as having been like an original classic Kenner mini vehicle take on a Imperial gunship, just to have a smaller vehicle based on that design to be able to sell at a lower price. But it only holds one person, unfortunately. Would have been much nicer, in my opinion, if they had included a simple way to put the second clone trooper on here. I mean, they did include 2 clone troopers in the set, so why not give us the ability to put both of them onto the so-called speeder. This has a couple of stud shooters at the front. You can also use these, of course, as turrets. Just turn those. They're a little bit stiff the way they're attached there, but you can rotate those around. The wings are slanted down at an angle, but you can also bring them up to the horizontal. You can also bring them up beyond that. It starts to look like one of those Wookiee gunships, relatively, to me. The green right there, the green plates on the sides just keep the wings from going down too far, and just has a single engine on the back, and that's that. You can get a little bit easier access to putting the figure in, taking it out just by moving the canopy forward, but that's really just that. So it's intended to be just a single person attack speeder, and I think it looks pretty cool. I think it's good for play. Just would have been better if there was a second seat. And that's about it for this set. Again, I'm happy for fans of the Phase 1 clone troopers that those are available again. The 2 Jedi figures are good. I'm not that big of a fan of that lower piece for Barriss. I mean, it does look good in terms of its shape, but really could have used a little bit more weight there, because with a lightsaber out, it really does come very close to wanting to fall forward. Other than that, I think it looks really good. The speeder, yeah, could have used a second seat, but it looks pretty good, and I think it's just ready for some customization. I mean, you can easily just take off this grill piece if you want, put a second trooper up there, or do some other customization to make it a little bit better to taste. As it is, it's a fine toy, and the overall set is pretty good. It's just not perfect, in my opinion. So there you go. Those are my thoughts. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.